We back. Um, what's up?
I said, what's crack-a-lack?
Here we are, y'all, back live. This is Dustin, yet again. He's been on my show a few times. As of recent, and then, of course, all last off season when we did the Raider reports, which I think we're going to get back to doing also. We're going to get into doing quite a bit. We're going to be posting a lot more. I will be putting up a TikTok link and an Instagram link for me soon for you guys to come follow. But the number one, we have about 5 questions standing on my board today. We're going to answer them. I got hot takes coming up too. That's going to be on Monday or Tuesday, whenever I can get a chance to go for another video. But let's get right into it. Who in the secondary do we think improves the most? What's good, Raiders Now? What's good, man? How is it doing? We're going to put up the link for you guys to join if you guys want to. Man, we'll get right into this. Who in the secondary is going to improve the most? So you looked at last year, and we had, of course, Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Merrick both struggled throughout the year a little bit. The whole secondary, was quite the disappointment. But who do we think is going to have the biggest impact, and who do we think is going to improve the most in this young secondary, of course?
I think fucking Tyler Hall and Sam Webb 100% are going to be two candidates that are going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I think those two right off the get-go, because I don't think Meek's going to make the team.
No, he isn't.
So he's going to give them more time to be able to show up and be classed a little bit more. So I would say, just thinking off the top of my head right away from people that were on our team from last year, I would think Tyler Hall's going to get a lot more playing time, so he's probably going to show up a lot more.
Yeah.
Sam Webb, dude, with the way that everybody's talking about him, the way he's in camp, the way he's trying to contest fucking Devontae all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are
as
favoring
Raiders,
those type players.
Yeah. Raiders Now.
I don't say Hobbs because too many people are saying, like, Hobbs this, Hobbs that. Don't forget, Hobbs had a fucking broken hand with a fucking club on it.
Yeah.
And he still produced really good, even being on the outside. The problem that happened after that is that he just kept on he couldn't grab, like he can't grab the guy when he's tackling him. He can't grab him. He's like fucking like taking a fist like this. And one like that and trying to fucking pull him down. That's why I give that dude Shaquille, what's his name that was with the...
Oh, Shaquille Griffin?
Yeah, Griffin with the fucking Steelers, or the Seahawks.
The Seahawks,
yeah, I mean, that's where you give him a lot of credit that he's able to do that type of shit, but you got to take into consideration why he's able to do it too. He's had that since birth. I think that was a birth problem. Or even as long as he's been dealing with it, he knows how to cope with it. Where these guys, when that shit happens, it's really hard. And not only that, with it even being like that, he still did really good. So that's the only reason why I want to bring up Hobbs in this case, because I think his was just more due to the injury in his hand than it was anything else, dude, because he still produced good. But I would say, like I said, Hobbs and Hall and Webb as in corners.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be Tyler Hall or Sam Webb is going to be in that consideration. I could see Isaiah Polamau getting more snaps and being an improvement in that secondary too. We have 4 safeties right now that I would say the Raiders can throw on that field.
Yeah, but the thing that's tough about saying him being an improvement is he didn't play. Like, he played minimal games. Like,
so we all agree that Amik is gone? Yes. Yes, we do.
I think Amik don't make the team because of Cosby, and numerous other players here.
We have tons of talent here.
Let's be real. Like, what did I say my list was going to be? I said my list was, When it came to
Hobbs.
the cornerbacks, it was Hobbs, Hall, Bennett, Webb, Shelley, and Faceum. And then Brown, Perryman go to the practice squad, and then Hearn gets cut. And then Roberts gets traded or cut.
Yeah,
because you got to think about when you're looking at the safeties, you have Epps, Morick, Johnson, which I mean Ziegler likes a lot, man. So I think Johnson makes the team because you're not going to want to try to revert him to the practice squad because I don't think he'll go there. So Jaquan Johnson, the safety that we picked up from the Bills.
Yep.
So I don't think he'll want to revert to the practice squad to sit on there. You know what I mean? Like he wants to play. So I think with him, there's certain players that you can revert back to the practice squad and not have any issue. Where, like I said, if you're looking at just in the safeties alone, you'd have Epps, Morick, Johnson, Smith, and Paulo. Then you would cut Teamer and Grant. Yes. And then you could revert one of these players, which would probably be more like, in all honest to God, it would be Paulo or fucking Smith that would go to the practice squad and then just be rotated in and out throughout the season, which would probably make more sense if it was Smith that went to the practice squad just because he's a draftee. He's not going to argue it too much. Quan Johnson, he's a good player, just like Ziegler's really high on him, and the fact that he likes the place that he comes from, developmental, how they teach their players, how they do certain things. So that's why I don't think he's going to want to lose that guy. I think he's going to actually want to keep him. I think Teamer's done good, but let's be real. If Johnson shows up, Teamer's gone, and then you want to run 5 because you probably put one to the practice squad, run 4 back there. But again, I keep telling people, like, the Raiders are known for running 5 DBs in the backfield in that new defense. So having 6 corners and 5 safeties, which is a total of 11, is not going to be unlikely, man. And I keep telling people, like, with
because they're going to be rotational.
Well, look, the DNs, tackles, and linebackers. I have 5, 5, and 5. And the thing that people are like, well, you don't have more linebacker. Well, dude, what you're not taking into consideration is yeah, I do, because Kuntz and fucking Jones and Max Crosby play in the linebacker in the 3-4 scheme. So that's the thing people gotta remember is that when we're in a 4-3, Max and fucking Chandler are DNs. When we're in a 3-4, Max and Chandler are linebackers. So you have to keep in consideration what scheme you're in, where you're at into the field. So, like I said, when you really have 5 DNs, you really have like 6 or 7. You know what I mean? Because there's linebackers like fucking Drake and so on that can come down and play off the edge, dude. You're gonna have fucking what's his name from Bernie. Bernie's fast as fuck, bro. Like, he can come out of there gunning hardcore. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you have dudes in the linebacker position that can play down, and you have guys in the DN position that can play up. So that's why I say the versatility within the team is why I feel like we can do that with the DBs, with the linebackers.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think this secondary's got a ways to go. Definitely got to show up, and we'll see what they do this year. It's about just going on that field and showing everyone what we can do. I think we right now, we might be one of the youngest defenses out there, which I like. We're going to be developing as a defense for the coming years. So we'll see what this defense is able to do. I see Adam Plant, Drake Thomas. We have young dudes. We have to see them play, though. Yep.
Dude,
agreed.
Adam Plant coming from UNLV. 7 sacks, dude, 33 tackles, pressures like a motherfucker. Like, this dude don't fuck around, dude. And then not only that, show up over here and come with that same energy during the camp, dude. Like, that Adam Plant might be the real deal, man. Like, that guy might not be no joke because that dude got real energy and his production's real. So if you're looking at him, which I have him on making our team, because they have him as the second, third left DN. Plant. I have him as our fourth or practice squad because he's going to be running with Jones, Wilson, Kuntz, then Max, Willis, and Plant. And I said Willis will get cut for Plant. They're not going to cut Kuntz for Willis. Willis is older. Kuntz is younger. He put on the weight, dude. He's just a younger, cheaper, better player than going and getting Willis and playing 1 year. So Plant most definitely. And Thomas, that dude's a fucking machine, bro. I got him as our fifth linebacker with Robert Diablo, fucking Masterson, Ferguson, or Masterson and Bernie, and then Thomas. That fool's gonna be fire, man.
Yeah. Again, for my answer for the secondary, it's gonna be Tyler Hall. We'll see what he does though. Coming into this year, we have topic number 2 of where will this O-line rank? Does it? Like I said, we ranked in the top 10. I think it was amazing for what we dealt with. We had you said 21 line changes out there this past year, and we still ranked in the top 10. Before
you got to think about it. They only swapped one time between the left guard and center because of the injury. Then you had the Colton injury where Luminor went over to the left tackle. But outside of that, the rest of those line changes were changed at the right guard and right tackle position for the rest of the time.
And so, we didn't really – I don't think we had the same amount of chemistry on that offensive line as other teams would. And I think if we would have been able to have the same starting 5 on the O-line, it would have been better. But we still, again, produced a top 10 offensive line. I think it was impressive for what we had. For as many line changes, not having the chemistry, every week. So –
yeah, but see, I would have to argue that because let's be real. When the season started, we were the 29th ranked offensive line. I was leaving off the Tom Cable's line and John Gruden and them. All it's done is digress the whole entire time under Tom Cable with our line. At the same exact time, here comes Josh. He's sitting here rotating the line. He goes from the 29th to the 10th. Listen, because Derek Carr stands in the pocket and holds the ball longer, does not mean that the offensive line is worse off.
No.
See, if the NFL looked at that the same way as people are looking at that, the NFL would have ranked the offensive line way worse than 10th because of the fact of Derek Carr getting sacked. Where the NFL notices the difference and they know that it's player error, not fucking line error, is when they go up and they say, okay, under John Gruden, Derek Carr was standing in the pocket for 2.2 to 2.4, 2.6 seconds. That's as long as he would hold the ball. Then he would get rid of the fucking ball. But now that he's over here in Josh's system, he fucking averaged 4.9 seconds in the pocket. That's double the time you've originally been in there. Yes. And that's fucking 2 times the time of standing in the pocket. You can't take him getting the tackle or a sack because of the fact that he waited 2 seconds longer than he does originally to get rid of the ball. What that tells you is that he probably felt comfortable in there, and he probably didn't know the play drop off like he did in Gruden shit, where he was able to just drop off, boom, 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 boom. Like that. There's a difference when you're familiar with something versus having to span over something to see. So for me, I would say that offensive line did pretty goddamn fucking good.
No, it did.
All these players, and I don't think it lacked chemistry with them. I think too many people are reverting to the fact of Derek Carr's problem with the offensive line. I would say the offensive line produced massively.
You go look at the number of sacks that we allowed this year. You can go look back on a lot of those, and I would say
those sacks are from Derek, man.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It was from Derek.
The pocket.
Yes, it's because
Derek Carr got to take responsibility on that bullshit.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's not on the O-line. It's on the quarterback play. It's on the quarterback not being able to at least. I mean, his ability, his unwillingness to, throw the ball away at times was just frustrating. There was definitely some missed reads there. He could have definitely thrown the ball quicker. So, I think in that first game, we had damn near 4 sacks, and it was all because Derek Carr just stood in the pocket, right? Derek Carr had a problem in his final year here of getting the ball out quick.
Are you saying against the Charger game?
Yeah, I think we allowed for it.
I think that was just coming off the first game of the season, not getting to play in the preseason. I think there was a lot of adrenaline going on in that shit. And again, stepping into the pocket, fucking trying to get familiar with your team.
Yeah.
I don't just blame Carr. Carr's a good player, dude. I liked him. I think he did good. I even think he had a good year here last year. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is Carr wasn't as familiar in this playbook as he was in Gruden's playbook.
Yep.
John Gruden's playbook, Carr was able to get rid of the ball within a 2.3 and 2.6 seconds, where he wasn't getting rid of the ball for over 4 seconds in this one. So that's all I'm saying is when you know where somebody's going to be or know how someone's coming off the line,
I was going to say, if Derek Carr was able to be back in this, if he was still on this team, I was going to say, if we had him coming into year 2 of this scheme, I think that we could all talk about him having an improvement of a year because
fuck, that's not even a conversation. Derek Carr's improved in every single system in year 2, and to sit here and act like Derek Carr would not be better in year 2 is just crazy talk. The only thing is, the only reason why it ain't gonna happen or why it wasn't gonna happen is because it never was about Derek Carr's play style. It was never about Derek Carr. What it was about was the money. They felt like, look, if Derek Carr, they felt like if they came here and Derek Carr, Waller, and Adams, and all these guys can win with what's here right now, then they were going to roll with it because they were like, well, we don't have to invest money because the team's already going. But the second that they found out, like, hey, this team ain't where it needs to be, we're way the fuck off. If one player like Waller or Renfro falls off, we're way the fuck off on the defensive side by a mile. That they noticed that shit right away, and they said Derek got $40 million on his shit, bro. Like, sorry, sorry, bro, but at this time. It's not personal. It's about fixing the franchise, dude. Yeah. It's not about one player and where we drafted you, how you're doing. Let's be real. Derek Carr has 0 playoff wins. Been there twice, dude. Fucking one on a broken leg and one playing. Like, when Derek Carr gets put in the big game, fucking big time moments, he didn't fucking show the fuck up, and that's why at the end of the day he's gone. I can argue that Derek Carr had better stats under Josh McDaniels this year than he did under Gruden. Period. Under Gruden, he had 4,800 yards with fucking 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions in 17 games. Under Josh McDaniels, he had 35, 24, and 14. He had goddamn 1,300 more yards under Gruden with one last touchdown. The stats say that if Josh McDaniels would have had 4,800 yards with Derek Carr last year, he would have had like fucking 35 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So the stats state that Derek Carr had a better year under Josh, regardless of how anybody wants to say. Even with the all the 3 and outs, even with the 2 quarters of stagnant fucking play, Derek Carr still produced the 12th best offense out there. Devontae Adams fucking broke a 25-year sitting record, dude. Like, he didn't just get there because Derek Carr was throwing him that ball the whole time, dude. Besides 2 fucking games, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I say is like too many people look at the wrong things and try to say this is what it's not, dude. Like, they have good deals. It's just they got to put it together.
Yeah, I was going to say,
they needed the money at the end of the day to make the team better, period.
Well, since we're on the talk of quarterback, let's just go right into it. Who starts at quarterback this year?
Well, that's a good one because me personally, I think Aiden O'Connell is going to snuff Jimmy's job, dude, and I think we're going to fucking ship Jimmy.
Hey, Aiden O'Connell's been performing. Aiden O'Connell's been out there, and he's been doing really well in this offense.
Well, like I've said, I've heard numerous reports that say that if Jimmy doesn't come back into the OTAs playing better than Aiden O'Connell's playing right now, then they'll cut him, take that $20 million, and then fucking take that $20 million, and then fucking and then roll with Aiden.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's not a bad move. If it comes down to getting rid of Jimmy G because he's not performing at the same level or better than Aiden O'Connell, then you need to get rid of your losses when they're not actually a loss. Though we don't lose anything in that.
You gain, dude, and to me, I think if you're picking up an extra, $15 to $20 million, I think that's pretty good with Aiden, and then you can invest that to your defense in a linebacker like in Queen or somebody. You know what I mean? So,
but Dustin, the best outcome to all this would be releasing Jimmy G and trading for Patrick Queen. I think that would be a big swap right there. I'm not saying a trade. I'm saying like you get rid of Jimmy G and you bring in Patrick Queen for this defense. You're in a really good situation heading into the year. I think by then, because that's kind of where I think me and Dustin agree with this too. I think that's where our biggest problem is right now. It's at that linebacker position.
Oh, I've said it for a minute, dude. I think if we can go get Queen and then if we can get Queen, bring him here and then put him in that middle linebacker position. Boy, I mean, dude, be fucking solid as fuck, bro. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's what we lack right now is at that linebacker position. And when you can get a kid like Patrick Queen, that's fucking only 23 years old, has really good experience, has fucking been on a really good fucking team, and they're damn near in a spitting image system that we're in. How could you not want him? I say is like, how could you not want him? Dude, like,
well, yeah, think about this too, because Dustin, if we say we went out there and we did trade for Patrick Queen after we got rid of G, you also have that money that you can go and at least give this contract extension to him when it comes to that time.
Let's be real. If we cut Jimmy, we pick up 23 or 20 million, whatever it may be.
Yes.
We signed Queen to a 5-year, $17.5 million contract per year. And Queen comes out and leads this fucking defense with the players we got right now, dude, with Tyree, fucking Max, dude, fucking all these dudes, Bennett, fucking Smith, fucking Morris, Epps, dude. I mean, dude, we're gonna slay some motherfuckers, bro. Hobbs, fucking Hall. I mean, Webb, fucking Faisam, and all these dudes pop back up because let's not be fake. Faisam played good for us when he was here.
You look at
you add Queen to this team, bro. I'm saying we're going playoffs, dude. Like I haven't projected us playoffs, but
I was going to say because I think we can both agree it's the linebacker. I'm just saying, like right now, we already, as I think, I mean,
offense. I don't care if it's Aiden on that offense and Queen on that defense, bro.
Well, so I've already said like if you add Patrick Queen, who I think has the skill set and the ability to be a top 10 linebacker, given a new team where he is the leader, the guy in the middle of that defense, I think he comes in.
He already has the top 10 status. Like, let's be real. Do you think that fucking Devin White's a top 10 linebacker?
No.
You don't think Devin White's rated in the NFL as a top 10?
No,
I think that I don't personally, but I know the NFL probably does.
No, I thought you were asking if I thought personally he was. No.
No, I bet the NFL has him ranked as a top 10 linebacker. I'm just saying, and he's mentioned as one of the best.
No, that's the
problem
though. Devin White is literally Denzel Perryman 2.0, just a running.
And listen, Queen is every bit as good as fucking Devin White when it comes to the run. Queen is Hey, I got a post, dude, that me and Sergio did together. I had him go make that post, dude, and I posted it, and you can probably go find it on my page right now about the comparison between Devin White and fucking Devin White and Queen. Yeah, go look it up. Go right to my page. Go look. You'll see it. It's not too many down, maybe 15 posts down or so. You're going to see there's a post that I have exact stats on them both. They're damn near.
Oh, yeah, right here. Comparison. Patrick, let's go back and forth between these guys. So Patrick Queen has
on the screen. Bring it up on the screen so everybody else can see it too.
1 moment. Shoot.
Just share it. Share it as a.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I found it on my phone. Let me.
Oh, okay, then never mind. You don't.
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
know if you can do it on your phone.
Oh, yeah, you're cool. No, so I was going to say with Patrick Queen, he has 117, 79 solo. Devin White has 124, 73 solo. But Devin White also has a higher missed tackle percentage. Tackles for loss, Patrick Queen is 9.5 run stops. Devin White, 8, 9 run stops. Patrick Queen, 17 pressures, 14 QB hits, 5 sacks, to 22 pressures, 16 hits, 5.5 sacks. But here's the biggest difference, I guess, in total, everything. 66 targets, 77 completion percentage versus 60 targets, 76 completion percentage. 400 receiving yards allowed from Devin White and 464 for Patrick Queen. Touchdown to interception ratio is a 0-2 with Patrick Queen, so he's better in the past. With he has 2 interceptions. He had 6 pass breakups,
and he didn't allow any touchdowns.
And Devin White here had 2 touchdowns to no interceptions with only 5. And here's also a big difference: 83 passer rating to 104.9, basically 105 passer rating for Devin White.
That's in the coverage. That's coverage.
Yeah,
so like when you look at Devin and Queen in the run, they are damn near spitting image fucking deal. They're very few off. They're damn near spitting image. But where it matters, where the difference comes in is McQueen can stop in the fucking pass.
Yes.
McQueen got an 80 rating fucking QBR, bro. Fucking goddamn Devin got like a 110. Like 110 or something. I can't remember.
105 basically. It was 104.9, but 105 basically.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, and he doesn't have that coverage deal where Queen does.
So with the coverage though, I know this wasn't really mentioned, but Patrick Queen is in coverage more because Devin White, when he is in coverage for that limited time, he's getting picked apart. So they have to take him out of coverage because he's getting burnt. I know
he becomes a liability. People are going to say,
I know people are going to listen to the stats I read where Patrick Queen had a few more yards on, but that's the thing is Patrick Queen had double the amount of coverage.
You're saying what for passing?
Because it was 464 to 410.
Okay, and then this is what I would say right away. This is exactly what I would say right here to combat that argument.
Yes.
Queen has 460, right? He allowed 0 interceptions with 0 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. Now let's go to White's fucking deal.
Yes.
White had less yards with 2 touchdowns given.
Yes.
So
well, I was going to say, Dustin, what I was going to also combat. Well, that's the thing. What I was also going to combat with was saying how the difference was it's not mentioned how Devin White is taken out of coverage, so he can't allow more. It's because they see him as
linebacker.
He's the line. He's a liability. He's basically Denzel Perryman in run stoppage, and it's. And I would take.
And it forces you to have to go and get a coverage linebacker.
I would rather have.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna run in the dispensary real quick. So just talk. I'll be back in 1 minute.
I would rather have a linebacker that I know I can trust in coverage and run stoppage on 3 down. He's a better linebacker than Devin White. Devin White, good linebacker, whatever, right? He's not the linebacker that we need because what is the difference if you're going between Denzel Perryman to him, who also is on his last year contract, and we're not going to keep him around because if he sucks in coverage, we need a coverage linebacker. We don't really have an elite coverage linebacker. You get a guy like Patrick Queen who you can trust in coverage, sure, allowed a few more yards, whatever, right? But if he's not allowing touchdowns and he's only getting picks, I'm going to take those extra yards, whatever you think, right? But that's not the reality. Is if they had the same amount of snaps and targets, Devin White would have allowed more yards and probably at least another touchdown or 2. Devin White is okay, but he looks better also, I would say, because of the guys around him in the defense that he's been surrounded with. Patrick Queen, I think, if he was to come to the Raiders, I don't know what the asking price would be. I would have to do kind of a trade evaluation for that, but I think you would have to extend him for 5 to 6 years, keep him around for the long term, He's a good player. I think he's one of the best in the game. But with the biggest concern being linebacker, if we were to get rid of Jimmy G, I would expect a move to be made for a elite or somewhat of an improvement at linebacker to help us. I do expect Aiden O'Connell to start. It'll be either him or Jimmy G. I don't know if there's any other answer for that just because none of the other guys have really proven anything. For the last topic of the show, I will be mentioning how much better did the weapons get? And I asked this question because I know the answer. We improved. We're a top 10 weapon set in the league at our weapons. Our wide receiver core, I mean, you went from Devontae, Hollins, and Keelan, and there was Renfro at times. It wasn't always him, but there was a problem. We were giving snaps to Keelan Cole consistently, which won't happen this year. We have 7 wide receivers that are better than him at this point. The guys that we are expecting to make would be like, I mean, right now you could say Devontae, DeAndre Carter, Jacoby Myers, Renfro, and Trey Tucker.
The NFL has us ranked as the 8th best offensive weapons in the NFL right now.
Yep. I saw that. I did see that post. I don't remember who was above us, but I think, looking at the weapons, we're not going to have to give snaps to Keelan fucking Cole. Or Mac
Keelan
fucking
Cole
Hollins.
ain't making this fucking team.
Or Mac fucking Hollins. If we don't have to give snaps to those 2 morons, we have a better weapon set. That's all I have to say. You have Philip Dorsett, who's better than those 2.
Yeah, facts, and he's making the team.
Yes. So there's, I don't know who you put on your paper, but like I said, I mean, I was listing off the wide receivers we have right now. And
the guys I'm going with in my list is so it's gonna depend, man, because they ran 4 tight ends. 5 receivers, so it was 9 total.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going 6 and 3 is the way I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Hooper, Mayers, and Horsted because I heard a lot of reports saying that the Raiders would cut Howard for Horsted just because they like that he's a receiving tight end that was receiver turned tight end. His production showed up a lot in year 2, in the last year with them. So they prefer him a lot. So long story short, I feel like the receivers for us, because of Carter is going to make the team because he's the main kick and punt return in camp right now. So I think he's going to make the team for sure, just a special teams reason.
Yep.
So this is why I have us actually going 6 receivers and 3 tight ends. I think we'll go Adams, Mayer, Renfro, Dorsett, Carter, and Tucker. I think Sims is going to go to the practice squad. And the reason I think he'll go to the practice squad is because if they cut Howard and Horsted is the receiving tight end, Sims can actually be the switch out. And I've said, like, the thing that Ziegler and them like a lot is versatility in the players. And the thing about Sims is he can play tight end / wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I think he would be the best bet to go to the practice squad. So if somebody was to get hurt or elevated, and listen, you can swap out Sims game to game, depending on who you're playing, what type of personnel you're in. If you feel like you need a better red zone threat down into the end zone, man, Sims can be brought in. Somebody like frickin', I don't know, maybe Dorsett or fucking Tucker. Maybe if Tucker's not doing good, or Carter, because if you sat Carter and then just put Renfro back there but had Tucker as the main returner, then you're going. And you got to still remember, you got dudes like DJ Turner still back there. He'll probably go back to the practice squad. I think Cole, Lacey, and Wilkerson all get cut. Because Adams, Meyer, Renfro, Dorsett, all better than those 3. Carter, I mean, for what he does special teams is better than Cole, Lacey, or Wilkerson.
Yes.
And if I'm just looking at like the main receivers, Adams, Myers, Renfro, and Dorsett, so those would be your 4, are better than Cole Lacey and Wilkerson.
Yes,
Cole Lacey and Wilkerson ain't better than
And then-
any four of those players.
This receiving,
And then the thing why I think the 6th receiver would go, and listen, you can just throw Tucker to the practice squad, run with 4 tight ends, and have Howard there, and you can take Horsted and move him to the practice squad, and then you can bring Tucker and add him back to the fucking squad. Like, there's ways that you can move these players around all year long that'll make it to where you can rotate them in game to game depending on how they're playing or how they're playing.
I just think with the fact that you look between this year and last year's camp competition, we have much better depth this year. We have many.
Let's be real, dude. We were talking about Robinson and fucking Mac Hollins and Keelan Cole, bro.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that we have, I would say, 5 guys that I could trust to run with this wide receiver group, I think we're fine. They have harder decisions to make this year. I would say that easily.
I mean, the NFL didn't rank us the 8th best options in offense for no reason.
Nope.
And the NFL hates us. So if you're getting reports like that with our deal, this is the thing I keep arguing people every single time about our team is our offense is 100 times better than it's been, period, over the last fucking 10 years probably, dude. Under Gruden, he never had this type of depth, bro. Like, he's never had stacked ass fucking halfback room, stacked ass tight end room, stacked ass wide receiver room, dude. Like, let's be fucking real. Myers is way better than fucking Hans ever gonna fucking be as a receiver.
Collins isn't gonna reach.
You're getting a guy like Tucker if his performance shows up. You're getting dude like Carter in the team and
Jacoby Myers is better than Mac Hollins, because Mac Hollins never even reached 700 yards, I don't think.
690.
Yeah, that he never reached.
But he's also a fucking 4 or 5, and he's a gunner for the special teams, dude. He's not a fucking. He's not a number 2 wide receiver.
No, he's a 4th or 5th option. That's what he is. No, I do think though. So the last thing I want to talk about with this offense is, as a group, I've seen people call me crazy for saying it, but the Raiders have a top 10 offense. We do. If you go look at last year, this is what I've always said. And, Dustin's heard this before. I've said it to him before. If you go back to that Saints game, if we even put up 14, 17 points, and we even have another 100 yards, 150 yards, we're ranked in the top 10 of offenses overall. We were right outside the top 10 while being shut out. That tells you that, plus we improved our weapons, I think massively. I think we improved every section of this offense. I think the biggest question mark comes down to who is the running back group we throw in that field this year. I'm still in favor of not paying Jacobs. I think, if we pay him, whatever, but I'm saying, if we can trade him off for assets too, I wouldn't be against that. But we just need to see who is in this running back room, because I think we're going to be an improved running back room. I think we're going to run the ball better this year in terms of more touchdowns, because us only having 12 touchdowns this past year, I think rushing overall was pretty bad.
Yeah, it is true.
I think if you improve because there's no way I think we could have,
I think they're going to make Zamir most definitely tandem back with Josh this year.
They will. Yeah.
They're not going to let Josh go run like he did last year. Zamir is going to get force-fed that ball 100%.
Yep.
And like I said, I think the running back squad is going to be Josh Bolden, Amir, and Zamir White. I think fucking Sincere, Bolden, and Austin will probably all go to the practice squad. And look, dude, if fucking Sincere can beat out Amir, then Amir will get cut and Sincere will be fucking.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to us.
I think Sincere is probably a year away from that happening, though.
Yeah.
Bolden, I think if fucking Zamir can pop up and play really good, Bolden can be another cut candidate with Brown becoming the third back.
I was gonna say, if we cut Brandon Bolden, doesn't that save us $2 million or something?
They're not. The only reason I don't think they're going to cut him is familiarity. He's only here for another year.
Yeah,
it really doesn't hurt the team.
No, it doesn't hurt us. I'm just saying. But no, I mean,
that's all I'm saying. Like, I think when they're looking
I was gonna say though, this real improvement, like you and me have talked about, this real like development of this roster will come with the running backs. That's where it's gonna come from.
Yeah, I think this year, like, this is why I think Josh is pushing for more guaranteed money, why these things are happening, because he's like, look, the new, or Ziegler is like straight up, dude. He's just like I am, man. And I keep preaching this on my channel. Like, people don't know football, and people talk like they know fucking football. I've said, dude, I watch a lot of games. I evaluate a lot of players. I have zero biasness to my team because I'm not biased when it comes to my team. I want to make sure that when I look at my team and there's a problem, I want to make sure that I'm talking about the real fucking problem. Let's be real. Josh Jacobs in the Steelers game got cemented in the backfield 3 fucking times, couldn't even get the first down. You can't be elite if you can't push the pile on your own when everybody knows that you're going to do it. You can't be elite when you're sitting on the goal line, dude, and everybody knows that you're going to jump the fucking deal and you get face smashed because everybody reads you, dude. Like, we can't misconcept that Josh gets a lot of those yards because of where that offensive line's pushing in front of him and then allows him to break off and one-on-one a motherfucker and then go hit him.
He can beat a motherfucker one-on-one.
Not Barry Sanders, bro. Barry Sanders, the play blows up. Barry in the backfield. He running like 40 yards back this way. You turn your ass and 80 yards back the other way for a touchdown. That's when a motherfucker doing it on his own. Josh cannot do that. Josh cannot fucking do that. When Josh gets sent out, when motherfuckers know what Josh is doing, he can be beat, dude, and he can be stopped easily.
And he got beat in that Rams game quite a bit. I think there was a few games he got beat, quite honestly. But this running back room, like, yes, Josh Jacobs is a good running back. Let's not misconcept what you just said. He's a good running back, but are we willing to pay him all this money that he wants? Probably not, and we're not going to, because I think Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels and everyone there knows that Josh isn't worth all this money that he's requesting. He's worth money, but it comes to
I think what Ziegler is doing at the end of the day, I think Ziegler is doing like what I've been talking about the whole entire time is that I think Ziegler's kind of at the same deal where you're looking at games where you were not elite, and when elite moments needed to show up, you didn't fucking get it. They're looking at the fact that there's a big reason that he broke for those yards because everybody else was fucking injured. I've said it just straight like this, dude. I've said it just like this. I told them to bring up New England's deal in 2021 and see where them two backs were for fucking Smith and Harrison. One was at 202 God damn it, in runs. No, 202 in touches, like runs.
Yeah, rushing attempts.
And then the other one was at 133 for a combined of 335. Josh alone ran for 340 possession, times that he received the ball to run, 340 times. Josh had 1,653 yards by himself. Between Stevenson and fucking Harris, they had 1,535 yards. So they were only short 100 yards less than Josh, like 117, 120, whatever. I didn't do the math to the T, but I could. But either way, it's right around there. The difference where it shows up here is Josh had a 4.9 run percentage where both of these halfbacks had a 4.6. So they're only 0.3 underneath him. The difference that matters here is Josh had 12 touchdowns. These dudes were combined for 20. That matters, dude. There's less 100 yards. They're 5 or 7 touches less than you, and they have 8 more fucking touchdowns than you. That shit matters. And when Ziegler and them are looking at the team and they're saying, like, listen, you had a good year. Nobody's going to argue it. But I know that the offense was depleted. The wide receivers, halfbacks. I mean, let's be real. Derek Carr was the second leading second rusher with 24 touches at 102 yards. And a lot of those were because the play broke down and Carr took off running. Stenham had 13 for 89. So he was the third leading rusher on our team. And that, again, his is more designed on the breakdown, but he's also an RPO runner. He's an RPO runner. Yeah, he'll run. So on 13 possessions, he got 84 yards. Now let's go over here to fucking our next halfback, which is Zamir White. He had 17 for 70, bro. Like, Stenham beat him with four less receptions, dude. He got fucking almost 14 more yards.
Too, the misconception with his yards is he got stuffed and ran into his own guy at least 3 or 4 attempts. He had a few breakaways, and that's why he looks like he has 70 yards. So
yeah, but then the other thing I would say about him is he had 1 fucking reception per game, and nobody's watching him. How about we give him 10? Let's give him 10 in the game and see if he even comes close to 4.1 yards. Like, that's the difference.
Hey,
you're taking
if he can do that, I'm
dude.
fine with him. If he
That's
can
what
do
I'm
it,
saying, but he's not going to. He's going to run in the back of his players, dude. He's done it the whole time. Unless he can get off that shit, it doesn't matter what he does.
Well, and I mean, this year's projections for him are probably going to be under 800 yards, under 700 yards. So,
yeah, and I just think when you're looking at things at the end of the day, they got a really good tandem back here. And if Zamir shows up, great. More power to him, dude. Like, I'm not hating on our team. If he can play and he can get it together. If he gets it together, Bolden's probably gone. If Sincere gets it together, Amir's probably gone. Then you're looking at Josh, Sincere, Bolden, or Josh, Sincere, Brown, Austin, and Amir as your main backs for the next few years. And then, like I've spoke on, if I'm the Raiders, dude, like every 2 years, I'm drafting a halfback in second, third, fourth round because I agree 100% that you don't need to go out and draft a dude in the first round, pay this guy hell of money. I would draft a halfback every 2-3 years. And then when these guys' contracts are up, when their contracts are up, I would just rotate him with the next guy because he's already got a year or two underneath it. This dude's contract's up, bam, next guy up, see you later. You know, like that's how I would roll.
Here's the thing with the Josh Jacobs from the start, right? It's hard to make his pick and say that it was a great pick because he's not going to – I don't think he's going to come back for more years as a Raider. I know I hate to say it, but I don't believe in picking running backs in the first round to begin with. We have bigger positions of need. So going back and looking at the Jacobs pick, I would say it was a bad pick only for the basis.
The only reason I have an issue with what's going on right now is I'm not going to say it's a bad pick. What I think is bad is the influencing of players in the NFL because let's be real. Josh said at the end of the year that he would play on the tag, has no problem with it, that he would move the money around as long as they were doing it to better the team, make it better for him. Yeah. And the fact that we didn't get Rodgers, and now that he sees Saquon over here talking about, $20 million, Josh is like, whoa, hold on. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the next player. You don't know who the next player is. Why are you worrying about some motherfucker you don't know? Worry about your fucking self. Get your contract, get your money. Don't worry about you worrying about some other motherfucker going to end you on the bench. Like, that's what's going to happen because they're going to be like, listen, Josh, at the end of the day, we're not here at the table to worry about some guy nobody's even met or thought of yet, dude. Like, we're not here to do hypothetical Kyrie Irving bullshit, okay?
Yeah, no.
Like, we're here to fucking do real shit. Like, are you here to play football for us or are you fucking here to worry about some other motherfucker? And as good as you may be or not, we still retain the rights to you. You don't want to sign that tag and allow us to trade you. We will do this for 2 years of your life. This year and next year, you will sit the fuck on the bench, dude. And we'll do it just for personal preference reasons, period. So by the time you get hit free agency, you're going to be like 27 with 2 years not playing. Like, good fucking luck. Good luck with that shit. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen. Like, at the end of the day, you can talk about how good you are or this and that. If you're so good, right? If Derrick Henry ran for 1,600 yards and had fucking another 3-something for fucking all total of 2,000 all-purpose yards and led the NFL,
he would be
number one in the NFL come the following year. Josh Jacobs is ranked the ninth best halfback going into this season. And you know why he's ranked the ninth best? Because the motherfucking analysts sit and say, look at that tight end group over there. Look at that wide receiver group over there. Look at these halfbacks. Josh ain't getting the ball like he did last year because, 19 dudes were on IR, dude. Fucking receivers.
We have more options for the ball to be given out, and we're going to be a better passing offense for that. I think Josh Jacobs. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to hit 1,400 rushing yards this year. I don't think he's going to do that.
No, I think 1,200 at best.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that, dude. And listen, don't get me wrong. He can probably do a little more. There's 17 games, dude. But even I've said this, under Gruden, people can talk all the shit they want. Under Gruden, Josh has been 1,000-yard consistent back, dude. There's not an argument, but he's been 1,076, 1,056, just like right there. You know what I mean? And all I'm saying is the reason that he was consistent like that under Gruden is because the offense was consistent. Even with players or not, you had dudes like Zay and all these other dudes popping up that were getting yards. There's a reason Zay Jones got $12 million fucking dollars, because he started popping up as he got played in more and more years. Last year you had Mack and motherfucking and Adams. That's what you had, dude. Like, Cole sucked dick, dude. No hands Cole, dude. Like, straight up. So you have no fucking receivers. You have nothing. So, like, when you're sitting here looking at these depth players or the things that's happened, it's minimized. This year, dude, it's like, okay, look, if somebody gets injured, even if somebody gets injured, you could look to the practice squad and be like, Sims is going to be there. DJ Turner's going to fucking be there. Even if you want to keep fucking Cole Lacey or Wilkerson, one of them can be there. You know what I mean? Like, you're not sitting here saying, damn, fucking this guy got hurt and I'm looking to Cole. Like, that's what you're doing. Look at our receivers: Adams, Meyer, Renfro, Dorsett, Carter, Tucker. Come on, dude. There's 4 dudes here that Renfro hardly ever gets hurt, and yeah, he did get injured last year. Not odds are he's probably going to be healthier, stronger this year. You're going to have Dorsett that's been playing in the NFL for multiple fucking years, same as Meyer, same as Adams. Like, your roster alone right there is fire. Then you're going to your tight ends going Hooper, Mayer, Horsted, or Howard. I mean, come the fuck on, man. You're stacked, bro. Like, an injury in one of those guys ain't going to fucking plague us. You know, like, don't get me wrong, if you have 2-3 dudes injured, it's going to plague us. But outside of that, it ain't going to plague us in any means, dude. Like I said, sit Josh and let Sincere let Sincere, fucking Amir, Bolden, and Amir come out. I'll take that all day. I don't give a fuck if Josh sits, dude. Let Britton Brown play. I like Britton Brown a lot, dude. I mean, let him play. Let's see what this motherfucker can do. Like, wait till we get to the preseason.
Wasn't Austin Walter like one of the running backs?
Good last year. He was one of the best.
I think he was one of the main backs we played in the preseason. He did pretty well. So I was going to say he's another player I would personally say, watch out for to at least show out in camp again. And then him and Sincere are both possibly like they're upright, like the year that they all, get their shit together might be next year. And that would still be a pretty good duo of.
Dude, all these people are talking about what's going on right now. I said this is like pillow fighting your fucking brother in your bedroom. Like, that's what this camp is right now. There's no competition to the extent of when you're out playing motherfuckers where you can jam on a dude, press on a guy, jump off, put a hand in there and get it. Like, the way they play right now is if you're running down the field and he has possession, he's going to get the ball right over top, give it. Like, they're not sitting trying to be physically hard.
I think when you get to the real camps here soon, you're going to see
if we get into the preseason and Zamir pops the fuck up, dude, as much as I don't like him or not, and he fucking pops up, there's a good chance he's going to probably start and play. Like, that's why I'm saying Bolden's times are coming to an end regardless of how people want to look at it. He's at the end. And if you're sitting here saying I can cut him and get $1 million or $2 million back and play our young guy like Amir, and know that you have dudes like Brown and Sincere and fucking Abdullah and Austin all sitting behind, like, you're not really too worried, okay, if we lose him, we're going to struggle hella hard. Most of the time, most of the time when teams are looking at their team and they're like, boy, if we lose Bolden, that's a big hit to us because we don't really have that halfback. We got fuck hell a halfback debt, dude. We got 7 motherfuckers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 dudes. We got 7 dudes back here. And let's be real. You're talking about Josh, Bolden, Amir, Sincere, Brown, Austin, and Amir. I mean, come on, dude. Josh, Bolden, and Amir, I mean, they've all played okay. Amir, I mean, fuck, he played pretty good last year. I liked him. He did his roundhouse kick shit in there. Sincere just has a really high ceiling, dude. But Brown in the preseason killed it, dude. Amir just runs in the back of everybody, and Austin Walters played really good football. So I'm not sitting here saying like, oh man, if Josh ain't here, oh well. I mean, there's options in the fucking free agency still. I said Dalvin Cook, fucking Leonard Fournette, dude. Like, you have all these players that you can pay cheap money and get them here for a year, dude. Like, I don't think it really fucking matters.
I think we have the perfect blend on this roster. We have a bunch of young guys. And there's like those occasional vets, which is what we needed. We don't need more than like what we had back years ago where we had Jordy Nelson as wide receiver fucking 2, right? I mean, we don't have a guy like that. We have Jacoby Myers, a true number 2. We have Hunter Renfrow. We have guys that are options at every position.
And let's be real, dude. Let's be real. I keep thinking about this over and over and over where that guy made that report where he's claiming like the Raiders would cut Howard over for Horsted. And I'm like, I wonder when I probably should go back and see when that article was posted because they're sitting here claiming that he was a good ad, this, that. But I would have to argue the fact that I would say Sims and Howard to your team would be actually better. Like Sims is doing pretty good in the camp right now compared to what people are saying. He's young. He's got a ceiling coming up. Horsted, I've just never really liked him. He's never really done shit. So
no, I don't.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm thinking. If you're looking at your tight end group, right?
Yeah.
And you're sitting here going like last year, Waller and Austin or Waller and Foster Moreau. And then you're looking at fucking Horsted. A lot of people didn't even know who Horsted was, dude. So outside of Foster and Waller, you really didn't have shit. When you look at your tight end group this year and you're like Austin fucking Hooper, OJ fucking Howard, and fucking Michael Mayer, like you got 3 dudes right off the get-go that are way better than what we were all together last year, period, as a group.
Yeah.
So then I'm sitting here thinking, why would you cut Howard? Look how big he is. He can stop in the run. That's an Austin Hooper and Howard, right? Austin Hooper, Howard, pretty much same exact player. Myers and fucking Horsted are pretty similar. Myers has got a better ceiling because he can learn to block, but he's literally the same dude. He's just a receiving tight end, big body dude. He's going to have blocking capability, but he's not known as a blocker right now. But let's be real. If you went Myers and Sims together, I think that would be a better than Myers and Horsted.
Yeah, I think
I'm putting him as a cut.
Horsted's a cut, I think. But no,
yeah,
I think
that Schenker dude will go to the practice squad. I don't really know much about him, but he's a rookie player. Or Horsted can go to the practice squad. I mean, one of these guys is going to practice squad. Period. Well,
like I said, today that's going to wrap up this show. An hour-long show about the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, comment. I want to see what y'all predictions for the Raiders are coming into the year. We're not going to be 6-11 like we were this past year. I'm projecting 8 or more wins. I think, actually, I got a question.
10-7's mine.
As far as I saw, I don't know if this is still right, but last time I saw the over-under for the Raiders wins this year was 8.5. I'm going to hit the over.
7.5.
7.5? Okay, 7.5. I'm going to hit the over on that. I think that, again, this. I also want to mention, like, people talk about how bad we are, but if we were that bad, right, why would the NFL have us on, I think, 6 or 7?
I know. So, look, here's even something before we hop off real quick. If we're so bad and people talked about our line and so on, like we've already talked about the receivers. We're not bad in receiver depth, so we know that's bullshit. We're not bad in tight end depth, so we know that theory's bullshit. We're not bad in halfback depth. We know that's bullshit. Even no matter how you want to look at the white quarterback group or not, doesn't matter if it's Jimmy or it's Aiden. It's pretty much the same shit. It's pretty much the same shit, dude. We're not lacking in that aspect. We went over here to the DNs, D tackles. We're looking really good in there right now. You look at the linebackers. I mean, you got Spillane, you got Robert, you got fucking Masterson, Diablo, Bernie, and Thomas. That's looking pretty fucking good with Max, Chandler, and fucking Kuntz, and then whoever the other guy will be, will probably be playing rotational linebacker. So good depth there. You're looking at your corners, your Shelley, Hobbs, Hall, Bennett, Faceum, Webb. Another really good group here with Brown and Perryman to the practice, and Cosby. You got a really good group.
Aiden might be special. Hopefully he does. He is accurate. Yeah, he was, I think, one of the most accurate QBs coming out of college. He's got. I was gonna say though, here's the thing, right? People projecting, because I've seen a lot of it. I'm not gonna say anything to these guys until the year's over, until we go prove these guys wrong.
So look, this is the other thing too. I've even said it. I was the first motherfucker to say it, that Aiden's gonna probably take Jimmy's fucking job and be shipped out of here before we even get to the season. So I was one of the very first people talked on it. I guarantee you, Aiden O'Connell. I even picked him. Go look in my Discord and go to our fucking picks, dude, for who we picked in the draft. I picked him as our quarterback because I knew Ziegler and Josh were zoning in on him hella hard at the draft point. They even had another secret fast meeting at the end going into the draft. I knew that fool was coming to us, but I can see that the thing is when Aiden came here, Jimmy was injured, so Aiden got the snaps right away. Let's be real. If Jimmy wasn't injured, Aiden wouldn't have got those snaps. Aiden would have sat behind Jimmy, and Jimmy would have been getting that chemistry with those dudes. But it's the other way around. Jimmy's on an injury. Fucking Aiden come in here, and I get it. It's like I said, it's pillow fighting with your brother. But at the same time, he's still dropping bombs on motherfucker. Just blah, dude. You're talking hella good.
Also, what you're saying to it. What I was going to say was, to what you're saying, I get it. You're saying that it's not really them going at it, and they haven't done that yet. But he still has to make those throws, and he's doing it.
If they get to camp, because Jimmy's ready to go right now. I've heard plenty of reports that Jimmy can go right this second, dude. His injury's gone up, dude, that he's ready to go. They just ain't going to do nothing until they get back to camp in the next few weeks. But from the stuff that I've heard, his injury's good. He's ready to roll. He can roll. So that's why I've heard numerous reports.
No excuses.
That he's been in the building the whole entire time, dude.
Well, he knows the playbook, so there's no excuses for him not to look okay.
The reports I've been listening to a lot of, and they're really good sources, dude. And I mean, like I said, I don't sit here and brag about people I know. They just got good sources, and they are pretty right all the time. I mean, like I said, I got my shit. My record speaks for itself. But I'm just saying, Aiden O'Connell, from what I've heard, is if Jimmy comes to camp and he can't match what Aiden is right now, he will be cut, and we will get that money back because of the contract. And they'll roll with Aiden Hoyer Chase with the option of picking up another player. They will have an option of picking up another player and putting them in there till another QB is what I'm trying to say. They'll have put in another QB.
And I was gonna say, even when people tell me this was a bad move,
pretty fucking hot because my phone damn near overheated right there.
When I hear people talk about how we made a bad signing getting him, I just go point at the conditions we put in that contract. We can go make all this money back, and we'll have more money because we put these clauses in that tell him, hey, if you're not ready to go, you're not performing up to the level of expectation, you will not be here.
Well, this is the thing I was going to say when they were saying the most thing that people talk shit on is the offensive line. I hear so much negativity in the offensive line, it's not even funny. Our offensive line is Miller, Parham, James. It's going to be Moody. Moody's going to take that right guard. Moody's going to take that.
I'll just continue with what you were saying. Moody will take the right guard spot. And actually, I've heard it from him. I think he might have the same take as now, but Me and him have kind of talked about. He's told me about the progression of this offensive line. Dalton Wagner doing okay. Clinton Curtis is showing up. Now it comes down to who starts at right tackle. It's going to be between Illuminor or Thayer Munford. And I could see Thayer Munford taking it, but we'll let him come right back in here and explain his offensive line, I guess.
Yeah, because my phone overheating, dude.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good, man.
So look, at the end of the day, people have said it. Moody's gonna probably take that job. He's playing really, really good, dude. Like he's probably taking that job. So, and I keep saying this. Illuminor is not a practice squad candidate, and you're not just going to want to get rid of Illuminor. You would probably trade him, dude, for sure. Parker, another trade candidate that's there. Why would you bring him back, dude, if you sign dudes like Wagner and Curtis, dude? Like,
yeah.
Wagner,
So you think we're trading off of Brandon? We're going to get rid of Brandon Parker and Jermaine Illuminor?
So, what I feel is the right tackle can go two ways. So this is how I look at it. Miller is going to be our starter. Harron and Murray are going to get cut or to the practice squad. I don't really know how they want to view those two dudes, but either way, cut or practice squad. Parham will take the left guard. Van Rotten, he's cut. Meredith, I don't know. Again, he can go practice squad, cut. I don't know how they view these dudes. I'm not too fucking familiar with them, so I don't want to be like, oh, they're instant cut them. I would have to check into them more just to know. I just don't know much about them, so it tells me that they ain't doing shit, and I've hardly heard of them. Curtis, I've heard a lot about him. I've heard how he's playing, how he's mauling. He's going to pop off fucking Barr's spot, so Barr's ass up out of this motherfucker. So for me, I think it's going to be Miller, Parham, James, then Garrison, or however you say that dude's name. He's the center. He'll go to the practice squad because Parham can be intertwined with James. But if something's happened, you still have to have a center. So I believe he will go to the practice squad for sure. So left guard, Parham, and Rotten gets cut. Meredith, practice squad are cut. Curtis grabs the backup spot instantly because you're going to have 7 people in the offensive line. That's it. 5 playing, 2 rotational. Now, this is where it gets crazy because, like, well, Barr is going to be trade or cut, but I think he's cut because no trade value. Gurman, I don't know much about him. I don't know how young, old. I don't know if he's
don't know anything about him.
Yeah, so cutter practice squad, I don't know. But this is where it gets crazy at the right tackle, right? People keep saying that Munford's been popping up like a motherfucker, and they said like his year 2 production, dude, has shown up massively, that he has a really good ceiling. People are looking at him massively. So this is where it's going to come down to. Wagner of recently has even been claimed in camp to shut down Max Crosby coming off the outside.
Yeah.
So this is where I think it can get really dicey here with the Luminor, people would say, well, you'd move him to the right guard. Nah, hell, Curtis is laying motherfuckers down, dude. Mauling dude already NFL strength ready.
Yeah.
Here comes Luminor, check 1, not getting rotational. Then people are like, yeah, but he's covered for, he's right guard, right tackle, left tackle, because Miller got hurt. He went over there. Well, and I would have to say, well, Wagner can go over there too. So if Wagner is the backup as the 7th player, Wagner has the backup rotational at either tackle position. Curtis has the rotational at either guard position.
Yeah.
And Parham has the deal of he can drop down to the center if James is to get hurt. Moody stays at right guard. Curtis pops in at the left guard, or Moody plays better at left guard and Curtis to right, however you want to do it. So
doesn't matter.
No matter how you put the player, how you want to rotate the roster with Wagner and fucking Curtis on it, you play the roster any way you want. It doesn't matter. It can be rotated 50 fucking different rotations in there, which then makes Illuminor and Parker a viability and trade possibilities. Parker can get a 6th or 7th back out of it, and Illuminor, the way he played, somebody gonna give up something for him, dude, a 5th, 6th, 7th. And long story short, at the end of the day, if you cut him, who gives a fuck? Now, let's just say this scenario. Let's say Munford ain't at the starting level at the right tackle, and that he's there, but he just needs a little more seasoning to play out this season. then it's going to be Illuminor at the 1, Munford at the 2, and Wagner will go to the practice squad. That's how that'll go. The problem is you have to protect Wagner because you've given him a $200,000 signing bonus. Everybody and their mom going to be looking at this 6'6" mammoth over here, and they're going to try to swap this fucker right off our roster. So you're going to have to protect him. You'll have to protect him over there, which is not a bad thing. And then, like I've said, Van Rotten could make the team, but the only way Van Rotten makes the team is if Curtis doesn't show up in camp. If Curtis can't show up in camp, Van Rotten makes the team. If Curtis shows up in camp, bye, bitch. Fuck you later, you know.
Bye, bitch.
The way I look at it is I think adding Moody to the line this year, and if we roll with Munford and Wagner and Curtis as our backup, you know, like as our players, we're probably have better in top 10. Like, I think we'll be better in top 10 because I really like Moody coming from Denver. I mean, he's a big this guy's a mauler too, man. He ain't no joke, dude. So, and Curtis from Chattanooga ain't no joke, dude. And Wagner ain't no joke. Like, what you're not understanding is, dude, like, Wagner is like a Trent Brown type player shit, you know, like these big motherfuckers that'll wreck your life, dude. He's just not as fat as Trent, but like I said, you know, and I've said, like, fucking, when you look at Trent, no matter how people want to look at him or not, let's be real, he shut the fuck down out of Cleo Mack over there in London, bro. Like, Mack didn't even matter against us there. So those players matter when they got that big ass body stature shit, especially against elite ass pass rushers like that. So
I'll leave everyone off with these notes, right? From start to finish, we have a much, much better roster than last year. We got to stop with these. Listen, you know what? I'm okay if you guys keep doing this, right? Because here's where I'm going to stand on this. Just make your video where I can save it and I can come back to it at the end of the year. The Raiders will not win less than 6 games. Will not. I've seen so many.
And I don't care if that's with Aiden O'Connell.
Dude, even with Aiden O'Connell, we can win 7 to 8 games.
Aiden O'Connell 6+. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, that over
He's
under.
got something to prove. He ain't gonna play protected like Carr, dude. He's not gonna play protective.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell gonna come out here and try to ball the fuck out because he got shit to prove. Like, he got shit to prove. He want to prove he's good. So he gonna take wrist shots. He's gonna take throwing into fucking coverage, dude. He ain't gonna play like Carr, where Carr's like, I got comfortability because I've been here. Let me throw it out of bounds. Well, throwing it out of bounds got you thrown to the Saints. Which, listen, I hate even saying, like, oh, thrown to the Saints. Like, to sit and deny that the Saints ain't a good team, stupid as hell. So, I mean,
no,
it is what it is.
We put him. He's on a good team now. All respect to Carr.
I think he went to the best team he could have went on.
Carr talk, though, is another thing. We got to stop with the Carr talk. He's not a Raider, guys. I've heard so many people tell me we need him and how we got worse at quarterback, too. We didn't. We got to stop with that because Carr, as much as I love him as a player, great player, he wasn't a winner here, and I hope he's a winner wherever he goes.
He's not a winning quarterback, period. He has 0 playoff wins. He has not a winning record in the NFL. No. He's only had 2 winning seasons, 9.
Listen, if he goes out there and balls out, that's what I expect. But guess what?
He's in the weakest division of all football. I hope he does.
It's the thing is, I've had people. It's the fact that people have said we needed him. We don't need him.
I need him like I need a pebble in my shoe.
Listen, I'll leave it off with go Raiders. The Raiders are going to win 8+ games, but I'm going to keep saving y'all videos.
I got us at 10-7, man. G on it. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what? And I just find it funny. What I just got to say, I find
did that before the draft too, man. I did that before FanDuels and all their 7.5 bullshit.
Hey, so, like, if I had to ask you then, because I've asked a few other people, which pick was your favorite from this draft?
There's a lot, man. I can't just pick one. Tyree, fucking Mayer,
I like Ja'Cory Bennett.
Tucker, dude. I mean, I'm not – there's a lot in this. Byron Young. I mean, listen, this draft I think is a really, really
like
good.
Is Ja'Cory Bennett. I think he's going to show out year one.
Like, if I'm saying, like, I like Tyree Wilson, man. That dude's going to wreck lives. People are going to get to know this guy real quick.
You know what?
The Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson talk is straight crazy. Tyree Wilson was ranked the number one edge rusher in the country in the draft. Tyree Wilson was ranked as the number one defensive player in the draft, dude. Like, that's the kind of shit people are neglecting to look at is they say, well, he hasn't had, hey, this guy's wrecked dudes' lives in the fucking few years that he's played and got to play at his deal. And you got to take it at this, dude. He's 6'6" with a wingspan like no one's business, just like Max. I keep trying to tell people, like, this guy, you look at video, dude, you can't double cover this motherfucker, bro. Like, you're going to double team him and he's going to still get up off your fucking ass and get back there. And again, he has straight brute strength. He's got to get more tools in his deal. But even if he doesn't have it, man, he's still going to push that pocket to the bag, dude, and push them into fucking Max, where Max can end up with like 12, 15 sacks because he's bringing that pressure there. So, like I said, people will be shocked with Tyree. I think Tyree Wilson's Tyree's gonna shock the fuck out of people because
I have him
I
getting
believe that dude's got a lot of talent, man.
I think his rookie year he gets 6 or more sacks. But
I think I've said 10 to 12, dude, if he's playing the whole season and gets to come out of there, because I think when you're teaming dudes up like him with Chandler, Byron, like, look, dude, you can't listen. Byron has been projected to have a better career than fucking Carter. So fucking Jalen Carter. If Byron is projected to have a better career than him, he comes from just a winningest fucking college. He has just as good a stat. Like, he ain't over there. Carter ain't doing nothing that fucking Byron ain't been doing in that fucking college. And they're at two of the biggest schools in all of college. So what's the misconception, dude? People get on a guy and ride him. There's been plenty of guys in the NFL, man. Go look up your history where a player's been projected, dude, like Ryan Leaf, for instance, as the fucking quarterback, and Peyton Manning goes on and be the most dominant motherfucker out there. Like, and Ryan don't even make it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I say.
Like, again, I think Dustin and me will both be doing the same thing. We'll be monitoring what you guys are saying. We'll probably hear some more blasphemous shit. We'll probably hear that the Raiders going to have 6 or less wins. Fine, whatever you think. But I'll come back to it.
I don't give a shit what they think.
That's what happens. Again,
like I've said, even with Aiden having Hooper, Mayer, Howard, fucking Adams, Meyer, Renfro, Carter, Dorsett, and Tucker. And Josh, listen, I keep telling people, like, people are like, oh, Josh, he's not going to sign. Why did he buy the jersey and put the 8 on? Why did he do that? If he ain't playing, I keep saying this over and over. If he's not playing, him buying a Raiders number out and getting the 8 jersey,
he wouldn't have done it.
Does not give him that jersey for the Dallas. It doesn't give him that jersey for the Ravens. It doesn't give him every team. Somebody else has that number. So if he's buying the jersey and paying millions of dollars to buy the jersey off the shelf, which is the 28 jersey, because you have to buy what's in stock off, and then they can change him to his 8 jersey and then put that on the shelf. Why did he buy those if he wasn't going to play for the Raiders?
He's not.
Like,
doing
why
it.
did he like the post with his 8 and repost it on the Raiders, dude? Like, at the end of the day, Josh is going to sign that, dude. Listen, in 4 years, Josh made $12.8 million. Next year, he's going to make 10.8, dude. He's signing that tag, bro. He's signing the tag. I think at the end of the day, he wants to get it. He wants to have that contract. Like, it's over.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to end up, y'all, posting this all over my content. I'm going to have it on my Instagram, my TikTok, and, of course, here as it is. But we'll see you guys around. I'll continue doing streams. I think we're going to bring back I might bring back a Raider for Thursday nights. I might do the Raider. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I'm just going to do a live show on Thursdays, I think. Because that works for you, Dustin. I probably could pull one more guy onto that show for the Raider Report is what I was going to say. I'll bring back the Raider Report for the rest of this offseason. And, I'm pretty sure Thursdays doesn't affect Dustin. So,
I do pretty much whenever.
Yeah, I will go back live another time here soon, and I will see you guys around. Best of luck.